All right, hello again for another episode of Oregon Football League Weekly. We're going into the fourth week of the season. It's actually our fifth episode. I'm Pfenning here with Alex Molden. We're looking forward to a great week in the OFL. There's a couple of really good battles going on. I'm going to be at the Klamath at Umpqua Valley game, where one thing I'm hoping for is a lot of mud. Because apparently last week when Umpqua Valley, they hosted Portland, almost beat them, and mud ended up being a big element of that game. So I was going to talk to you about field conditions. So playing at Oregon, playing in the NFL, you've got outstanding field conditions all the time. Did you ever get to play in mud?
You know what? No, I did not. The only time I had to play in mud was probably in high school. Although there were some pretty messy fields. I can remember playing at Kansas City in December, and it was like ice rain, and the field was terrible. And of course, me playing corner, we're out on the perimeter, so we didn't get too much of the
inside field.
Yeah, exactly, the inside field. But you can tell with field conditions, coaches have to change up their philosophies or their tactics of getting down the field and trying to score. Where there's not going to be a whole bunch of passing going on. If it is, it's probably short, because receivers are having a hard time getting in and out of their breaks. So a lot of when the field gets nasty and messy, a lot of interior runs.
How about, so you're up there at Detroit for a bunch of years. Green Bay, we got this the frozen tundra of Green Bay, which is pretty historic. How was, and I always see their field is really well taken care of, but it must have been cold. And what was it like playing there?
It was playing on an icy field. Whether it's a turf or a grass like up there at Green Bay, it's really tough. It's about the same thing, except you have even less traction. So all the high with cleat bottoms, you go from a quarter inch to a full inch. Maybe cleat bottoms to try to gain any type of traction, or sometimes what I used to do is just scrap the regular cleats and get turf shoes, like rain turf shoes, and just kind of one big thing that we did is we always went out, like if I played on the way, or we was playing up at Green Bay, I would look and see what their receivers or their DBs were wearing, because they're more in tune with the field. So I said, okay, I got a pair of those in the locker, so they're going to change.
Get out the old toolbox.
No, that's right, exactly.
So let's see. Hey, well, did you ever do you miss not having played in a game like where you come off the field, you gotta like shake off the mud? You're
Honestly, I don't. I don't miss that. I got a chance to play one time. It was my last high school game in Colorado Springs, and we played in snow. And that was pretty fun.
No, I didn't make up a snowball and hit that ball out of the air.
Something like that.
See, so our other games are Vancouver at Rogue Warriors down in Medford at Spiegelberg Stadium. Great place to play. Springfield is at the Oregon Outlaws, and High Desert going to Portland to play the Monarchs at Milwaukee High School at 6 o'clock if you're in Portland. Get a chance to go down there. Vancouver had a big game last week, and they one of our players of the week. Alex is going to give us the players of the week for the league.
Yeah. So for Vancouver, Jeremy Jones had 21 carries, 132 yards, and a 15-13 upset over Klamath. And we had Bruce Franklin of the Rogue Warriors.
Defense, I got to see him.
On defense, yeah. And being an ex-defensive back, I really get excited to see young guys, when they can, put their athletic ability on show and get interceptions and, get big return yards.
He had some interceptions.
He had four. interceptions in a 24-2 win against Springfield. So.
Yeah, we got to see them both the last two games, and they've on defense they've only given up 3 points in 2 games. So their
3 points.
Their passing defense really a big key to that too. There are other teams that was High Desert team the second game of the season. They only gave up 3 points to them right at the end of the game. They drove down about the 10-yard line in the last couple of minutes, and I'm like, okay, they got 4th down, and they send the field goal kicking team on. Like, come on, guys, go for it. Oh, you just want points. Okay.
Points.
Yeah. So, but that was a very entertaining game. So Vancouver gets to play at the Rogue Warriors. They a big upset of Klamath. And Klamath, it's 6 hours from Klamath to Vancouver. So there was a couple guys who weren't able to come drive up. So. But Vancouver, apparently they're going to send most of their team down to Medford. That's another 5.5 hour drive for them. So what was traveling like let's say, was it different from college to pro?
Yeah. You know, from college, everybody kind of sat where they're supposed to, and the coaches sit wherever, whatnot. In the pros, it's a little bit different. Pros, there's like kind of a ranking type of deal.
Yeah.
So all the coaches back in college, they sat in first class. Everybody else sat in the back. Now in the pros, it's a little bit different. Where if you're a veteran, you had over 5 or 6 years, you sat in first class, and then all the coaches, except for the head coach and the GM, sat in the back. So that way the coaches can be aware of what's going on, because things get a little bit squirrely on a east to west coast type of flight. We like to gamble a little bit on the plane, not for money.
So the coaches are playing. Was it playing time?
yeah, sometimes.
So the coaches, they get to see all that stuff. All righty, that makes sense.
Control it.
All right, so I'm Klamath at Umpqua Valley. That's our game of the week. The field apparently got pretty chewed up, so it's going to be probably pretty chewed up again. High school field, they only get to take care of it so much especially during the spring when it rains a lot. And when we started talking here, it was nice and sunny, but it's not sunny.
Coming.
Yeah, but hey, we got to be outside. It's spring's kind of rolling into late spring. Really going to enjoy the. Yeah, okay, here we go. I got to have one of my other souvenirs from my spring football days, the United States Football League. Here's my football from the USFL. It's got Harry Usher's signature. I think he was a commissioner the third year.
Usher.
Yeah, this is he's one of the dudes from the from the '84 Olympics. So, here's my football I got from the very first touchdown from the Portland Breakers. They got to sit in front of the MAC club, and they scored. And Tim Mazzetti comes out and he kicks the ball over the net, bounces off the MAC club. It comes down right to me. I take one step over, catch the ball. First ball ever scored, ever touchdown from the Portland Breakers, right here.
Nice.
All right, that's it for this episode. We'll talk to you next week again. I'm Pfenning, Alex Molden. See you soon.
Thank you.